105.7.
Mall in Bethesda, Maryland.
Yeah, and if you can shoot a little pool, it's going to be a pool party. Jafter's going to run a tournament for us. Just write to us here at Ron and Fez at AOL.com or give us a call at 866-277-4969. And or if you need your living room pimped out, 866-277-4969 or write to us at Ron and Fez at AOL.com.
That's all thanks to Value City Furniture of Falls Church and their design expert, Raphael.
Raphael does it all. Fuzzy, he makes it all happen. All right, you know how much we love to hear somebody have a meltdown? Nobody better than baseball managers. When did this happen, J-Dubs?
I believe it happened yesterday. Yesterday is when it broke in the news, so I think it happened earlier yesterday.
All right, should we just listen to it from the beginning, or you need to set it up?
I'll do a little setup on it. Jack McKean, the manager of the Marlins, had a breakdown with the press over they were spreading rumors that he was trading some of his players.
And was he coach of the year last year? Did he win that? He should have if he didn't. He took them all the way to win the World Series. So, but an old guy, right?
Yeah.
Like 75, 76?
He's up there, yeah.
Yeah. Great skipper. All right, here's Jack not getting along with the press.
I mean, why would we be? I mean, you guys, putting that in the papers, really, and disrupted this whole ball club. Talking about getting traded. We haven't ever talked about getting traded, and you guys put that in there that we're going to get Pavano, Benitez, and all these guys are subject to getting traded. And now they're all upset about that. If you had some goddamn concrete evidence that was happening, it'd be different. Well, we told you that's not happening. I mean, we're trying to win, and that doesn't help us one bit. All that bullshit in there, these guys could be gone. And then going to them and quote them. It ain't so bad if you're right, if then go get the players and put that in their damn heads. That's bullshit. If you don't like it, that's tough. That's the way I feel. Goddamn it, we're trying to win. If you're trying to help us win, goddamn it, don't be disrupting the goddamn ball club. A bunch of bullshit. Last year you had Lowell traded. We had to have a press conference to say he's not going anywhere. Then we started playing. I guess we'll have to have another goddamn press conference and say we're not going to trade any of these guys. I'm glad you brought that up because I forgot about it earlier. What are huge? If I can keep all my players there, if they don't get traded away. Give the guys a damn chance. Quit putting that shit in their heads. How the hell can you go out there and play baseball when your newspaper guys are telling you you're going to get traded? Possibility of getting traded. This club's going to tear up their club. We're trying to go out and get some goddamn help to win, and you guys are writing that shit that we're tearing this club up. I don't like it. You heard about it. Damn it. We're trying to win here. We don't need you guys screwing us up and telling us the players are going to get traded. Okay, now I'm going to calm down. Have a beer. You want one of the guys to get traded so he can go out there and play with a goddamn relaxed atmosphere. Yeah, he's staying. You can write Cabrera's staying. Give us a break. How the hell do you know I'm safe? I don't have to worry about me getting traded because I can just walk out that goddamn door. Don't worry about that. I ain't worried about that.
Here's what I love about it. It's not like this is an argument that got carried away. That was a monologue. This is a guy with nobody doing anything but having guys sit there and look at him while they're either taking notes or having a microphone stuck at him. And he just went off more and more and more.
It's hysterical, these meltdowns, because once you let out, like, the first cuss word, the first S word, then that is just floodgate.
Yeah.
And it goes from there, and the longer it goes on, the worse the swear words will get.
Yeah, well, you have to remember these guys, a lot of them are 60, 70 years old, and have lived their entire life on the road and in locker rooms. So it's not like they know how to put a nice spin on it like somebody who's come out of the college system where you had to watch kids. They've been screaming at young ball players for the last 30, 40 years, and sometimes they just unleash. Here's Tim. Tim, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Remember the guy from the Cubs who totally went off?
Oh, that was the great Lee Elia.
Lee Elia.
Yeah.
The media had him, and they were on a losing streak or something. But the most memorable part is he yelled at the fans and said, what are you guys coming to the ballpark at 2 in the afternoon for? This is when they played all-day games.
Yeah,
Don't you people have jobs?
Yeah, he was furious with the fans. We're going to look that up and see if we have it. But I actually had the chance to play for Lee Elia during that whole Dream Week thing that I did in Florida.
Oh, you went to the spring training thing?
Yeah, where you get to go and play with all the ball players. And he was one of the skippers. He was the guy that taught me the phrase "drop mud." I had never heard it before.
He ought to be known just for that alone.
Now, here was the funny thing about Ilya. He would be screaming at his Dreamwig ball players, which was really a bunch of lawyers and stuff that were on vacation. But these guys, Boa was one of the coaches for that, and they don't know how to do anything but try to win the game.
No,
so everything,
it's always full throttle. They've got no slow speed. They just yell till they turn red.
I played on a game where the guys on the team said, "What if we get together and vote Boa off?" And I was like, it was Survivor, and I'm like this. There's no possible way I'm going up against Boa. I'm just going to sit here and try to make the best out of the season. We're in first place because you just lose it and jump into their world. We do have Lee Ilya, Tim. We're going to get that on for you. Lee Ilya at the time was, and he's managed a couple different things. He did the Phillies. He's been with a lot of different organizations, but this time he was with the Chicago Cubs. And if you've been a Cubs fan, most of the time you stay around the bottom. Cubs fans get a lot of credit for being great fans, but if you've ever been to the ballpark, they like to just go there and drink and most of the time not even watch. So the team was going bad. The papers were ripping the Cubs. The fans were ripping the Cubs. And Lee Ilya had all he could take, and he couldn't stand no more fest. So here he is.
We got all these so-called fans that come out there, Cub fans, that are supposed to be behind you, ripping every thing you do. I'll tell you one thing. I hope we get hotter than just to stuff it up them 3,000 people that show up every day. Because if they're the real Chicago fans, they can kiss my ass right downtown and print it. They're really, really behind you around here. My ass. What the am I supposed to do? Go out there and let my players get destroyed every day and be quiet about it? For the nickel-dime people that show up, the mother don't even work. That's why they're out at the game. They ought to go out and get a job and find out what it's like to go out there and live in. 85% of the world's working. The other 15 come out here. A playground for the suckers. Rip them rip them suckers like the players. Got guys busting their ass and them people boo. And that's the Cubs? My ass.
Unbelievable.
Where does he get his employment stats from?
And I don't think he lasted much longer with the Cubs with that, but that's beautiful. Who the hell are they? Most of the people are working for a living. The rest are Cubs fans.
It's so great because these guys will run out of things that they're angry about before that they run out of anger.
Rip them! Rip them like they rip us.
So they get caught in the loop.
Still using that baseball slang, too. Like, people in the real world don't say rip them when you're running somebody else down. Hysterical stuff. There's something about baseball and baseball managers. I mean, if you've ever seen, Earl Weaver was a great one for this. You'll see Boa do it today in the big leagues. Tommy Lasorda was another great one. Will just come flying out of the dugout, running as hard as they can. Now imagine once seeing that in football. If some kind of bad call happened and you would look over to the sidelines and Jimmy Johnson would just be running as hard as he could at the referee and screaming. You never get it in another sport but baseball. You're not allowed inside the lines in any other sport but baseball.
It's some sort of release for them because once they go, they just keep going. And it's almost like they realize that, all right, now I'm gone. I might as well just spend the rest of the tank.
Well, sometimes they'll actually run out there and only to do it for the fans where they're just yelling and then they go back. And you know that he's just going to go out and do his piece so the fans will get off his back. Other times, you see him, when they start kicking dirt on the umpire. My favorite ever is when an ump's calling balls and strikes bad, and they'll just cover up home plate. And the feet of, just being so furious if we don't have home plate anymore. All right, Tommy Lasorda, who was the great Dodgers skipper. I haven't seen Tommy in a while. Have you, Fez?
No, I have not seen Tommy.
We used to see him at a lot of spring trainings in Florida and always give him the big positive. That Tommy looks like he's losing weight, because they would always walk him by, and he would look so proud if anyone said and his belly could be as big as a keg. But if you said he was losing weight, he just, in the back of Tommy Lasorda's mind, he was part of the Rat Pack. No one else knew it, but in his mind, he was with them. But he would lose his temper. We got another one of these.
They can't get the left-handers out, for Christ almighty.
Feel good, Tommy.
I don't give a you feel good. There's 4 hits up there.
They all hit the opposite way.
I don't give a
Tommy, you got a left-hander here like this
I don't give a Dougie. Well, I may be wrong, but that's my goddamn job. I'll make the decisions here. I'll make the decisions here, okay?
Like there was 3 runs on the board yesterday.
I don't give a
Hey,
don't give me any God damn it. I'll make the decisions. Keep your mouth shut. I told you.
It's bad up here, man. Just back off the mound. You want to talk about it? Talk about it.
You talk about it in my office.
Then I wouldn't say
I'm just saying, talk about it inside. This is not the place to be talking about it. Okay? That's all I'm trying to say. We're just trying to avoid it.
That's right. Great for you to be standing out here talking to me like that.
I would feel good. I wouldn't say
I don't give a Doug. I'm the manager of the team. I got to make the decision. And I'll make them to the best of my ability. It may be the wrong decision, but I'll make it. Don't worry about it. I'll make the decision. I gave you a chance to walk out here. I can't around. We're down 2 games to 1. If it was yesterday, it's a different story. I don't give a shit. You got three left-hand hitters, and they all got hits on you. Rivers, Jackson, and the other guy. They all got left-hand. They all hit. That guy that just hit the ball was a left-hander, wasn't he? I don't give a shit whether he's gambling or not. He didn't get out. I can't let you out there in a game like this. I got a job to do. What's the matter with you?
Now, that's actually during the game. I guess he's out at the mound during this. And if you hear him saying Rivers and Jackson, it had to be the World Series. Because that sounds like the Yankees. The only time the Dodgers are going to play the Yankees is at the World Series. So this is all taking place while the guy's mic'd for television at a World Series game. Everybody has to sit and watch while he sits out there and tries to convince his pitcher to come in.
Yeah, you can hear the organ just going on and on in the background while the game's being held up.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Just hysterical. All right, we got another Tommy Lasorda.
Can you give us just a few basic comments?
Well, naturally, I feel bad about losing a ball game like that. There's no way you should lose that ball game, and that just doesn't make sense.
What's your opinion of Kingman's performance?
What's my opinion of Kingman's performance? What the you think is my opinion of it? I think it was put that in. I don't opinion of his performance. He beat us with 3 home runs. What do you mean? What is my opinion of his performance? How can you ask me a question like that? What is my opinion of his performance? He hit 3 home runs. I'm off to lose a game, and you ask me my opinion of his performance. I mean, that's a tough question to ask me, isn't it? What is my opinion of his performance?
Yes, it is. I asked it, and you gave me an answer.
Well, I didn't give you a good answer because I'm mad, but I mean...
That wasn't a good question.
That's a tough question to ask me right now. What is my opinion of his performance? I mean, you want me to tell you what my opinion of his performance is?
You just did.
That's right. The guy hits 3 home runs against us.
To just keep repeating the guy's question back to him.
Yeah, I did ask you. Here's Tim. Tim, you're on Run the Fence. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, guys. I'll tell you the reason that you don't see this kind of managers or coaches acting like this in any other sport is because of baseball. You know, it's been going on so long in baseball, they control this beat right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is part of the game that you expect to see it. Also, I always thought about this, as in football, the last thing you need to get those guys is any more emotional. I mean, basically, it's almost like a riot taking place as it is. So, and there, it's more about pulling things back. But because baseball is a more leisurely played game than football, that you're not specifically out to hurt the other guy, then every once in a while you're going to have an explosion of emotion where you don't want people getting overly emotional. You don't want to, when a skipper does this in baseball, you look at the dugout and the guys are just falling out. they're cracking up. If you saw your football coach doing it, suddenly you'd have linemen following him out there swinging chairs, probably.
And they're already hitting each other.
Yeah.
Well, football's about control.
Yeah, football is, it's about controlling and unleashing fury. That's the problem. You unleash the fury, then you're supposed to walk back away from the little man in the striped shirt and get in a huddle, and then walk back out again. Unleash the fury one more time. It's a very strange game when you think about it, football, that you really set out there to snap someone's neck, then you stop, walk back, talk for a second, go out, and attempt to snap someone's neck again.
With the baseball manager exploding, I guess that's got to be like the hockey fight, where you don't see that anywhere else, except in hockey.
Well, 866-277-4969. The hockey fight is more of a thing, I think, to bring people into the place, because the referees are actually part of the hockey fight. I mean, a fight in any other sport, everybody's trying to break it up. In hockey, they'll let them fight for a while, and then they come in. So basically, they're basically saying, this is pretty good for the sport. Here's Matt. Matt, you're on the Ron and Fez show. How you doing, buddy?
Evening, buddies.
Hey, pal.
Classic baseball moment when the skipper will fight with the ump, and then he'll run to, let's say, first base, and actually dig up the base and take it back into the dugout with him.
Yeah, that's always funny.
As if, it tries to ruin the game.
Yeah, like there won't be a game anymore.
How are you going to play with that at first base?
I remember when I was a little kid, I saw Frank Lucchese actually sit on home plate. After he was thrown out of the game, he sat on home plate. And then they threw him out of the stadium, and he went out to his car in a walkie-talkie and was trying to still manage from there. He would put on a funny hat and go into the stands. It was really all part of it. I can't believe I just came up with the name Frank Lucchese. That was odd enough. But all that stuff, like, here's another great one, too. Matt, that you see the guy goes into the dugout, and then you see balls flying out, bats, and he's just trying to clutter the field.
Well, who is the coach who he used to be the coach of the Seattle Mariners, and he would always take his hat and throw it on the ground, and it would make like SportsCenter top 10 plays of the coach trying to kick his hat. And he's stumbling.
That's your guys with the Rays now, Fez.
Oh, Piniella?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's Sweet Lou Piniella. Piniella is another guy. Now, he's always saying, things have changed for me. I've learned to adapt to the game. I'm part of it now. And you will still see him freak out from time to time. Here is Jay. Jay, you're on the Ron and Fez. How are you?
How you doing?
Good, buddy. What can we do for you?
Not much. Hey, is this Ron?
Yeah, it is.
Hey, Ron.
Go ahead, buddy.
That guy is just crazy. He was had an interview with Studying John from the Ron and Fez show.
This is the Ron and Fez show, and we never had a Stuttering John.
I'm sorry, but
Howard Stern.
Howard
there you
Stern.
go.
And that guy was just crazy, just yelling at people and kiss this and he was going to kick this guy's butt.
Yeah, he got furious. One time, Tommy Lasorda went completely after the Philly Fanatic, where the Philly Fanatic was trying to do some kind of, something stinks. And there's Lasorda going toe-to-toe, just screaming at a 6-foot-tall puppet. Here is Shane. Shane, you're on Ron and Fez.
Buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, can you think of any other sport aside from baseball where cheating is as rampant as it is in baseball?
Well, every sport has cheating that you try to get away with it a little bit.
Right, but be it, cork bats or hair and grease in the pitcher's hair, pieces of sandpaper. You don't see stuff like that in football.
Well, the thing in football is you do have a lot of holding or kicking and stuff, and a lot of guys.
Not as blatant cheating, though.
Every play there's holding. I don't know why they call it. Baseball, they have kind of more of a sense of humor or a sense of style about cheating, which is why no one's surprised that they started doing steroids, because all these years, the guys who would, do little tricks with Brill cream to throw a slippery ball have gotten endorsement deals.
With football, I always like it at the end of a play when whoever's got the ball just kind of throws it a few yards ahead.
Yeah.
Before the ref spots it.
Yeah, there's not a single sport where anybody will go, hey, you know what, looking that over, I think we need to call the play back. It was all of our fault. Cheating is kind of part of sports, and It's one of the weird things, the difficult things that you try to teach kids that. Yeah, well, we also cheat a little bit. And don't even use the term. You got to cheat in a little on this one. You got to make it happen. Here is John. John, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Ron and Fez, how are you?
Yeah.
How about the famous Woody Hayes forearm to the opposing player?
Yeah, Woody Hayes was always a crazy coach. And you know what? You will see more crazy coaches in college than you would ever see in pro football. And even that has come way back down from the old, screaming coach is way down in college football than it used to be.
Yeah, now, Lou Holtz will still grab a face mask when he's talking to a kid, and that's unnerving.
Yeah, he's probably the most old school person that they probably have out there. And, of course, in college basketball.
Yeah, Bobby Knight. It's been a while since he's choked anyone.
But he'll still throwing chairs and
It's a shame with Woody Hayes, though, too. I mean, he had a pretty good record. After that, it just seemed it was all downhill.
Well, Woody Hayes also was, getting older, and that's not something I think he would have done younger in his life. It kind of seemed like things were leaving him a little bit.
Yeah, kind of almost like a desperate move that he wasn't control of.
Yeah, it seemed more of that. Here's Max. Max, you're on Ron and Fez.
Hey, Uncle Ron. Hey, Fez.
Hey, buddy.
You guys are talking about cheating and how it's acceptable everywhere. My favorite, although I don't watch golf, is that in golf, if you're watching a tournament and you catch one of the players cheating, like you catch him kicking his ball or whatever, you can call the PGA or USGA. They will then review the tape, and if you're right, they'll bust the guy. Even after the tournament's over, they'll make all the changes. They did it a couple years back, where somebody watching on TV called it in, they reviewed it, they watched the tape, and they saw that some guy had moved his ball out of a leaf or something, and they docked him after the tournament was over.
The other thing I never really understand in golf is that whole signing your scorecard. There's no other sport, like you score a touchdown, you don't have to come running over and put a 6 up for everybody. Okay, there's my touchdown. I've done it.
Could you please fill out this form, please?
Yeah.
Well, it's a good thing because most of those athletes couldn't count past 6 anyway.
All right, El Jefe said, would we respect our PDs or bosses more if they talk like baseball managers? I think so. I think so 100%. The big difference there is if you look at the PDs and the GMs, in sports, they normally come out of that sport. You know what I'm saying? They've been around the sport their whole life. Now we're having a lot of people that we got from the sales area.
Yeah, they tend to go into the management positions and don't understand, why you can't just, broadcast from a deep-sea fishing boat. They just don't understand those sort of things.
Yeah, and I mean, you never would hear a baseball manager go, hey, you guys know what to do. You go out there and do it. Because they don't really know how to do it. Just be yourself is what you want to do.
Just play your game.
Do it the way you know how.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, you know how to make it happen.
I'm not going to attempt to tell you how to play.
Why not? Aren't you the boss? Mark, you're on Ron and Fez.
Yeah, just a minute ago you were talking about that guy, the Chicago baseball manager, and he was going off. There's some webpage out there, I don't know which one it is, but it has all these coaches' rants. Jim Mora has a bunch of great football ones when of course, he's a loser. But Bobby Knight has the rampage where he yells at the guys at halftime. I think they're losing to Notre Dame, and they're supposed to be beating them by 20. You got to get that in play. It makes the hairs on my neck stand up.
All right, this is Bobby Knight going crazy?
Yeah, at halftime. Everybody knows he's got his standard ones, but there's one where he basically promises that the devil's going to show up at practice if they don't step up.
All right, it looks like J-Dubs, you found this one?
Yeah, it's kind of poor quality, but we do have it.
Let's give it a shot if we can. If not, we'll have to pull out of it.
I want to pray that I'm getting the out of here. I mean, if you're not going to recover Greg Graham, if you're just going to let him drive by you, if the rest of you are going to let him catch the ball outside the 3-second lane and drive all the way in here without one guy challenging him, then I'm leaving and you guys will run till you can't even suffer. Now, I'm tired of this shit. I'm sick and tired of an 8-10 record. I'm tired of losing to Purdue. I'm not here to around this week. Now, you may be, but I'm not. And I'm going to guarantee you that if we don't play up there Monday night, you aren't going to believe the next 4 days. Now, I am not here to get my ass beat on Monday. Now, you better understand that right now. This is absolute bullshit.
right, the weird thing about him, and this is what frustrates me with college sports, these guys aren't getting paid. This guy who's speaking right now is a millionaire, and he is a millionaire screaming at guys who do not get paid at all.
And it's his record, not theirs.
Yeah.
He's 8-10
right.
in the Big Ten.
It's all about him, and that's the problem with college sports. That's the frustrating thing about college sports.
I love, I do not want to lose to Purdue again.
Who are you? You're not even out on the floor.
You got a losing record.
Where is
Purdue's
he now?
going, what?
Is he in Arizona or someplace?
Texas Tech.
I can never follow him anymore.
And he's behaved himself pretty much until just recently, where he started screaming at the athletic director at the local salad bar.
Oh, yeah, that was about 6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
I remember that story. The guy took him out to a salad bar, which was enough to make me go crazy. All right, let's take a break. We'll be back in just a couple minutes. It's the Ron and Fez Show.